cow.
His name is
like,
Munson too.
We have a bull.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, his name is Munson.
That's the greatest name too. We just call people like where I'm from. That's what we call them, Munsons.
Munsons.
Like, oh, you got
we would
Munson.
name a guy Munson.
Yeah.
Or
Because of what happened in the movie.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, you got Munson. He's like, what are you talking about? And he's like, oh, that's what you say when you get screwed over or whatever. Or you're like an idiot.
Yeah.
Oh man, such a good movie, dude.
Okay. I'm gonna basically say right now that I'm gonna go 2 more rounds here, but I'm gonna really throw in
this is our end. Two rounds.
I think after this one, I think we should list our favorites.
Okay.
But this one right here should be all of the rest of the ones that we haven't really talked about.
Okay.
Kind of go through. So, like, I'm going to start with Boys in the Hood came out in 91.
Nice.
Cool movie. Great movie. City Slickers was another one. City Slickers was huge. Daniel Stern was making it big.
That movie.
And then you have Hot Shots. Hot Shots was pretty funny.
Hot Shots was funny.
It was in that Naked Gun.
Oh,
which
absolutely.
I like part 2 better, but
the Naked Gun 2.5,
Part
The
2.
Smell of Fear was in that one, or was in 91. Thelma and Louise, a big
Brad
movie for
Pitt
the time.
movie.
Ridley Scott. Ridley Scott.
The Addams Family. There wasn't a lot of horror in 91.
I love the Addams Family though.
Yeah, and The People Under the Stairs came out that year too.
Oh, that's a good one too.
Ooh.
That's a great. Actually, I love People Under the Stairs.
Yeah,
I might have
it's
to
a
watch
good movie.
that again now.
It's
I
on
gotta
Shudder
watch
right now. New Jack City came out. Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare came out.
Okay.
A lot of throwaway movies, not a lot of like movies. Besides, New Jack City was huge, and so was Boys in the Hood.
Oh, Boys in the Hood was awesome.
It
New
was a
Jack City
cultural
was-
movie at that time.
Dude, Boys in the Hood, I remember seeing that at a young age and being like, holy shit, this is, I don't know, it was just emotional. for
Right,
me.
right,
Like,
right.
I just felt for isn't Lawrence Fishburne the dad, right?
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. And there's so many people in that.
I do remember New Jack City being really big as well.
Yeah, it had
But
Judd Nelson in
Judd
it.
Nelson.
Yeah, but to
Wesley
me,
Snipes.
I mean, I think Boys in the Hood kind of
That was-
overshadowed that.
yes, yeah.
I guess.
Because it was more of the times, and that was kind of 80s.
Yeah,
Boys
exactly.
to the Hood was the prequel.
Yeah.
Boys to the Hood.
Well, there is a something with a Menace 2 Society.
yeah.
There's
Yeah,
what it
Menace
was.
to Society was
With
another
a 2 in it.
one. Yeah. Then we have Flight of the Intruder, which was one of John Milius's last kind of writing credit movies there.
I've never seen that one.
Toy Soldiers with Frodo Baggins, or not Frodo, but what's his name? Samwise Gamgee.
Yes.
Wait,
he
is
was
that the
in
one
it.
where they take over the high school?
Yep.
That's like a
Die Hard
prep
in
school. It's
yeah.
like a military prep
yeah,
school.
I love
Yeah,
that one.
Die Hard at Prep School.
I actually enjoyed.
Yeah,
I had watched that
Tolkien
movie
doesn't
last year.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, I love
there's,
that
like
movie.
terrorists. Yeah,
It's a pretty good movie. Yeah.
I used to think that was so cool.
Only the Lonely with John Candy, where he was a writer, is pretty good.
I don't think I've seen that.
I think that's it, where he was a writer. V.I. Warshawski came out. Whoa. Wozes.
Wow, wow, wee, wow.
Two Evil Eyes, a George Romero movie came out. Bugsy, Child's Play 3, Doc Hollywood.
See, I like Child's Play 3. That's another third one I like.
Yeah, Monsters. And then I'm going to wrap this round up with a fucking movie that should not have existed at all. It's called Stone Cold with the Brian Bosworth.
Oh, I remember that movie. And he drives
that movie.
he rides the chopper, right?
Yeah,
and joins
fuck
the
that
gang.
movie. Yeah.
Yeah, it was terrible. Oh, that's a badass.
They should have
movie.
just
not
like
badass. It was just a bad.
It was
bad
a
movie.
fucking horrible movie.
Why was it on your list?
Because it was the Boz.
It was the
man.
Boz.
The Boz was the shit.
Weird.
He was a big deal, man.
Yeah, he was. He was huge.
There's this really cool scene in Child's Play 3 where the guy dives on a grenade and because he saves everyone and he
Yeah,
blows
that's the
up
one where they're in the school as well, right?
Yeah,
the military
the
school.
military school
Yeah,
and
Captain
Chucky.
America.
Yeah, except it's like
Captain Chucky.
I remember thinking as a kid it's really cool the way it looks, like all this blood comes splattering out and stuff.
Sure.
And it's directed by Jack something that made a lot of episodes of Lost and other shows like
all right,
Fringe.
yeah.
Fringe. But yeah, Chucky puts the bullets in the fake guns.
Yeah, well, he takes out the blanks.
The blanks
Yeah.
he puts in loads them. Yeah.
Loads them with live ammo
So then half of the school is shooting live rounds at the other half of the school.
during maneuvers. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is really realistic.
It's a doll, you know. I mean, they're
Why not?
crazy.
Sorry,
in the 90s.
91. Sorry, Child's Play 3.
All right, yeah.
Oh, okay. Hey, I'll jump into some horror here with you. So we had a Nightmare on Elm Street. Was the new Nightmare, which was garbage.
You don't like that one?
No, I sure don't.
Wasn't that great?
Dude, I like that one.
I'm going to knock out the ones that aren't my favorites real quick. Phantasm 3, Not my favorite Phantasm, but it was still good.
Yeah, it was a Phantasm movie.
But
That's all you got to say.
for sure.
It wasn't fantastic.
This is kind of a sci-fi. This is kind of a sci-fi horror movie called The Puppet Masters. But not those little Puppet Master dolls. This is the one with Donald Sutherland and their aliens.
Right.
I really enjoyed that movie.
That was almost like a Take of the Body Snatchers.
It really was.
Yeah.
It really was. Kind of an updated version thereof.
I'm doing this with my hand on that one.
Yeah. Mary Shelley's Frankenstein with De Niro.
Yeah.
Now that one I enjoy.
No, I didn't like it.
Wolf with Jack Nicholson.
So
My wife
fucking boring.
loves that. My wife likes that one.
Now let's get to the
Boring
good
ass
stuff.
movie.
You ready? Brain Scan.
Yes.
With Edward Furlong.
Yeah.
need to do
Terminator 2.
Yes.
ties back to 91. We need to do a whole podcast on that episode.
Haven't even talked about it yet, Tyson. Thanks for spoiling it.
Well, you did. You said T2 in the
I know,
beginning.
just kidding.
And my favorite movie of this horror genre
Genre.
genre is Interview with a Vampire, which I know we recently spoke about on
Halloween
our
episode.
Halloween episode.
Yeah.
About how much I like that movie because I really like the books and and they did a great job. And it was Tom Cruise, even though it was in a role Tom Cruise was really made for. He did a wonderful job, and overall it was just a great movie. And Kirsten Dunst is a little girl in it.
Yeah.
Yay.
And Christian Slater.
Yeah, and Christian Slater,
And
Brad Pitt, and
Antonio Banderas.
Yes,
Antonio Banderas.
and that was that actually Antonio Banderas was the one character I did not like in the movie because the character was supposed to be a 19-year-old blonde kid.
That would have been more interesting, but
It
yes.
would have been a lot more interesting. Actually, I don't know if he was. I think he was blonde. Yeah,
But you get across the point that he's a young child
instead of a 40-year-old man.
But he's in charge. But he's in
40-year-old
charge.
Spanish
right?
dude.
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah,
what
but
a
he was
difference.
still in charge.
Wow,
And
wow,
so that
wee,
was
wow.
the one part where I was like, "What?" That was the casting to me. Everybody was worried about Tom Cruise, and I'm like, "Why the fuck is Antonio Banderas this character?"
Who's that? That director, Steven
Seagal?
Stephen Frears. he made the one with the twist at the end that everyone talked about,
Don't know.
where it's like she's got a dick. It's not. It's not.
Oh, the crying game.
I was like, "Sleepaway Camp."
Yeah, I was like,
That's the thing that got your memory to go, whoa,
that was it. The chick's got a dick.
Yes. I think the same person directed that, but that's
And then
interesting.
the guy throws up.
Yeah,
That's interesting because those are two adaptations of the monsters, like the Universal monsters, that I actually really enjoy. Is Interview with the Vampire and Mary Shelley's Frankenstein with De Niro. I know
don't
not
like
a
the
lot of
De
people
Niro
like
one.
that Frankenstein one, but
I thought it was all right.
It was Kenneth
it's
Branagh,
cool.
wasn't it?
Yeah,
Kenneth
Kenneth
Branagh,
Branagh. Yeah.
Yeah.
he directed that. What did he make? Fucking Hamlet or something?
He did
Yeah.
a lot of those kind of movies.
Yeah.
Like Midsummer's Night Dream, I think, and some of those kind of
Yeah, he was a
Shakespearean
Shakespeare.
movies.
He also directed the first Thor movie.
Yeah. But I would say out of this list, though, Interview with a Vampire and Brain Scan are my top two.
God,
Yeah.
brain scan.
Can't go wrong there.
Love
And
that
that kind of
shit.
wraps out my horror stuff. So over to you, sir.
Cool. Well, sticking with that, I think I got you guys all beat. Just even though I like those movies, don't get me wrong.
Sure.
From Dusk Till Dawn came out
Absolutely.
in 1986.
Absolutely.
And I remember
Love that movie.
I was young enough I just picked it up off the shelf at the video store because, my mom would, I just got to rent whatever I wanted.
Sure.
And I didn't know that it was a vampire movie. I just started seeing a heist and then titties. And I was like, whatever, however
Probably
old.
the titties.
Yeah, I was 10 years old or whatever. And I'm like, sweet.
Similar to Mitch's story.
And then all of a sudden they
Except he
fucking
wasn't
turned.
10.
Sorry. All of a sudden they turn into vampires and start fucking killing everyone. And I don't know, man. I just loved it. And then I used to love another movie that I'll let you say later. I think if you're going to,
Perhaps.
unless I'm wrong on that date. Sorry. But yeah, another horror one, Scream. You guys remember Scream?
Yeah, of course.
That was a big deal.
That was the better
Yeah.
of the Scream movies.
Yeah. Growing up with horror movies, I did like the departure of this one.
The
And
meta of it all.
Yeah,
the meta,
yeah. I thought it was a great idea, and then I really did enjoy it. But then after they came out with 12 more of them,
Well, not only that, but then you got I Know What You Did Last Week, and all those started coming out after it, and you're like,
two
now I'm
summers
burnt
ago,
out.
you dropped your shoes, and I found them. Part 4.
Scream 17 is actually pretty good. It really brings you back to its original roots.
Well, that's the first one that they brought Wes Craven back for.
Oh, yes, that's so right.
The third one is a trip, dude. If you can ever watch
we
that.
We did talk about that.
If you ever sit down and watch it, it's a crazy weird movie. Like it's again with the thirds with me, but like this one, if you actually watch it, it's really, they're doing something weird there. It's like a movie within a movie within a movie.
Within a movie?
Within a movie.
Maybe.
I heard there were some movies.
Nope.
In a movie.
None.
In the movies?
Just in
Within.
Movies in movies.
So it's like one movie, but within that movie is a movie, and within that movie is a movie, and within that movie is a movie. It's like infinite movies inside movies.
And then
until
in
the
a
very
movie right
end
now.
where it's actually a TV show.
We're making a movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
We're in one now.
And it's a TV show?
It's a TV show.
Oh my
It's
God.
going straight to, hello, Netflix, you're approved.
Seriously.
1-800 approved.
We like making both of those things.
All right, one other one I want to.
Sorry to digress for you there.
No, you're good. You're good. We're all good.
I mean, I didn't do it. I'm just sorry for you.
No. Another one of the ones I wanted to touch on real quick is kind of like before I get to the last one I want to talk about, because I think we're all going to want to talk about it, is do you guys ever seen another tie-in with your year, The Chase? Charlie Sheen was in a movie called The Arrival. You ever seen that?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It's kind
That's
of weird.
where he's like with
Horrible
the satellites listening to.
and he finds out that there's aliens out in like
yeah.
Mexico, and like
And
there's
they have backwards knees.
the one
Yeah,
scene where
yeah.
their knees bend back. That's all.
I don't think it's
They can
politically correct to call them that. So
I don't want to offend
Extraterrestrial.
the extraterrestrials.
Extraterrestrials.
Sorry.
Please don't
just
abduct
because
me.
they're from Mexico doesn't mean they have
We'll put them
no,
in,
it's
we'll put them in
aliens.
detainment prisons. What are you talking about?
South America. I
Give us
think.
your technology.
maybe a
It
little
has
too
to do
real.
with the heat. They're doing something. I
Yeah,
don't
I
remember,
don't
but that's
remember the story.
that's a cool one.
That was a good movie.
If you get a chance to watch that. But here's the one I really want to talk about. Before Peter Jackson was working on Lord of the Rings, but before that he had written a script for a King Kong movie. Okay,
Yeah.
but they couldn't really get the funding or the visual effects right, and so he wanted to do the Lord of the Rings, but again, they wanted to wait for the effects to kind of catch up and probably more funding, and I don't know what.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, he made a movie with Michael J. Fox called The Frighteners.
One of
Yeah,
the raddest
absolutely.
movies of the decade.
So rad.
Love that
Good
movie.
And my favorite part, I'm going to just go ahead and spoil it, is when Jeffrey Combs' character gets his head blown off.
Yeah.
It doesn't really disappear, or it goes away, but then his head is a ghost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Anyway, they used this visual effect test for the ghost so they could do the wraiths.
Ring Wraiths?
No. The ones in the third one, the ghost army with the
Oh, yeah.
the
okay.
green, you know what I'm talking, what is that? I don't know. I don't remember. But the undead army or whatever. But anyway, it was a really cool test in the visual effects, and it was really kind of, I mean, yeah, you look back at it now, it might not look so great. That's why.
For real. This one actually looks really good.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, it still holds up after all these years.
I mean, if
the
you're gonna-
VFX
yeah.
are really good.
If you're going to scrutinize it, I can see people doing that, but I prefer to watch it on DVD as opposed to like a Blu-ray or whatever. But
Yeah.
there's just so many cool things and tie-ins, like the old cowboy, like we watched,
Yeah.
we did about House 2.
Yeah.
See, I didn't even know that. You know what I mean? I seen this movie.
Yeah.
Were you talking about the ring wraiths?
No. You remember the army in the Return of the King where he has to go get
Into the
those,
cave.
the dead people?
Yeah.
That's what he's referring to. Yeah,
That's
because
the
they look a
visual-
lot really close to it.
Very
That's
cool.
the visual effects they were testing out, but they were like, well,
Yeah, it's not there
it's
yet.
not quite there yet to make Lord of the Rings, so let's make this movie instead. And if you've ever seen Brain Dead, you know that Peter Jackson has done a lot of horror. Well, and what was the other one? Bad Taste you guys were talking
Yeah.
about?
Yeah. Dead Alive.
But,
You
yep,
blow up sheep.
For that
across
brain,
the-
yeah.
Yeah,
rocket
Dead Alive
launcher.
was one of the ones.
Or Brain Dead, Dead Alive, same thing.
Yeah.
And you can see the in between there of that movie and the Frighteners and then Lord of the Rings.
Yep.
And it's cool because it's one of Michael J. Fox's last appearances too.
It's
I
one of
believe.
a great movie too. He does a good job in it.
No, that can't be right. He was in other things, right? Before
Maybe
he was on a
couple-
TV show.
He was basically on a couple more
What are we
things after
talking
that,
about?
and then he retired.
Michael J. Fox.
That was one of his last on-screen movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just a really neat, inventive. I don't know.
Yeah, it was a
visually
good movie.
stunning
Yeah.
movie. Yeah, you got a lot of.
Jeffrey Combs was good too.
Jeffrey Combs is the weird fucking
am a
like
roadmap of pain.
because he's infiltrated like neo Nazis and shit, and he's all weird. He has to sit on a donut.
yeah, because he's got bad hemorrhoids.
Yeah, but yeah, I guess on the horror side, that's all I got. And The Craft came out this year. If you've ever
Fuck
seen
the
that.
Craft.
I liked that movie when it came out.
That is a Walmart witch's fucking.
Oh,
wet
100%.
dream right there.
Yeah.
It's okay, dude.
No, it's the Walmart witch's fucking wet dream. Man.
It's all right, dude.
The fucking craft. Everybody after that is like, there'd be all those.
So that girl was in both of those movies that same year, right?
Yeah, Nev Campbell.
Yeah, no.
And Fairuza Balk